There is only one star in our solar system. The planets can be divided up into two groups. The first four planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, are called the inner planets. That's because they're closest to the sun. Let's look at each planet one at a time. We'll begin with Mercury, the closest planet to the sun. Mercury is very difficult to see from Earth because it is so small and so close to the sun. It can be seen at certain times of the year, just before sunrise or just after sunset. But most of the time, it's lost in the glare of the sun. Photographs taken from Earth really didn't tell us much about the planet. Finally, we got to see Mercury up close with the help from cameras on board the Mariner 9 spacecraft. Today, we know Mercury to be a rocky desert covered with billions of round holes called craters. Scientists believe the craters were formed billions of years ago when the solar system was formed. The spheres that circled the sun were continually bombarded by cosmic debris. This debris is what caused the billions of craters we see today on the surface of the planet Mercury and other planets as well. Like all 9 planets, Mercury orbits around the sun. An orbit is the path that an object follows around another object. Mercury orbits the sun once every 88 Earth days. As it orbits the sun, Mercury also rotates. All planets rotate, which means they're constantly spinning. All planets rotate on their own axis. An axis is an imaginary line that runs through the center of a planet. Mercury rotates rather slowly. It takes 59 Earth days for Mercury to rotate just one time. The second planet in our solar system is Venus. Venus is covered in bright clouds. From Earth, Venus shines more brightly at night than any other object in the sky, except for our moon. There is always a haze around Venus, and because of the haze, scientists didn't know very much about Venus until the Mariner 10 spacecraft traveled to Venus to take pictures. With a special camera, scientists learned that the land is mostly rocky, with some high mountains and very deep valleys. And Venus has no oceans or water of any kind. Using a computer, scientists have been able to map out the surface of Venus to give us a better idea of what it looks like. Venus orbits the sun every 225 Earth days. It's the second fastest planet in the solar system. But Venus rotates very slowly on its axis. Venus rotates one time every 243 Earth days. The third planet in our solar system is our own planet Earth. It's neat to look back at our planet from far off in space. In this picture, taken from one of the Apollo space missions, the Earth appears to be a big blue marble. It takes 365 Earth days, or 1 year, for the Earth to orbit the sun. Earth also rotates on its axis. The Earth rotates once every 24 hours, or 1 day. The Earth's surface is much different than the other planets in the solar system. The surface of the Earth is made up of rock. But on top of the rock, there are oceans and dry land. Oceans cover almost 3/4 of the Earth's surface. The closest celestial body to Earth is our moon. The moon orbits the Earth, much like the planets orbit the sun. Earth's gravitational pull keeps the moon from flying off into space. The moon is about 1/4 the size of Earth. Because it's so small, its gravity is too weak to hold an atmosphere to protect the moon from extreme cold or heat. The moon orbits around the Earth every 27.3 days. The moon also rotates on its axis too. It takes 27.3 days to complete one rotation. The moon orbits the Earth in the same time it takes to make one rotation. Because of this, people on Earth can only see one side of the moon, and we never see the backside. If you look up at the moon with a telescope, you can see dark shadows on its surface. These dark areas are the flat, dusty, dry plains of the moon. When astronauts landed, they found the moon's surface covered with rocks, dust, tall mountains, and millions of craters. The moon is not a planet. The moon is called a satellite. A satellite is any object that revolves around a larger object. Earth has one satellite, the moon. The next planet we're going to explore has two satellites, Mars. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun in our solar system. Because it's further away from the Sun than the Earth, it takes Mars a little longer to complete its orbit. It takes Mars 687 Earth days to orbit the Sun. In Earth time, it takes Mars 24 hours, 37 minutes, and 23 seconds to rotate one time on its axis. Mars is like Earth in that it has seasons that change from summer to winter, but the air is too thin to breathe. It's believed that Mars had rivers that disappeared a long time ago. And except for the ice caps, Mars is a desert. The planet appears red because the Martian soil is full of iron oxide, or rust. Mars has two small moons, named Phobos and Deimos. Phobos is the larger of the two and orbits around Mars in just 7.5 hours. Deimos is smaller, but takes 30 hours to travel around Mars.